Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to day 5 of the online writing challenge. I'm already seeing many participants with us here. Hello Thomas, hi Dorin, hi Zozo, Tiondi, Janice, Yusi, Anita, Sue, Ida. Hi, welcome everybody. Let's just wait for a couple more seconds before we dive into today's training session so everybody has enough time to join the session. Amazing. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Amy. Hi, Jeff, Grant, Patricia. Hello and welcome, everyone. All right. If you are here with me live, let me know in the chat box that you are on the live stream. And if you are catching the replay, let me know that you are on the replay. Hello, awesome. Let me bring my slides up here. So today is the final day of the online writing challenge, and we're meeting for one last time, at least for the challenge. Now let me know if you have been part of yesterday's masterclass, and if you have been part of it, or if you already caught up on the replay, let me know what your biggest takeaway was. What did you enjoy most, or what did you learn? What was something new that you didn't know before, or something that was a refreshment that you really want to make use of and apply over the next couple of, hopefully, days, or at least in the next couple of weeks? Let me know what you enjoyed most, and let me know if you've been with me live or if you caught up on the replay. We've been live for almost 2.5 hours yesterday and had so many people with us. So thank you if you've been part of the live stream yesterday. Right, I'm seeing audience growth, consistency, and the 6-step formula. That Medium has a true crime community, yeah. Learn to be consistent, to know your audience, acceptance, and keep working at it. Amazing. Masterclass taught me the power in showing up. Yes, the 6-step framework, give actionable advice. So a few of you, actually many of you, are saying that you've been live all week. That's amazing. Thank you so much for all the energy and also all of the community support that you've been bringing to these sessions. It was really amazing and such an honor and pleasure to be live with you all these days. I'm seeing lots and lots of insights in the chat box. That's amazing. So I think this is a gold mine right over here to look at the comment section here. So let's move on to today's session. So we are at the final day now, which is all about getting paid. And today's core message really is that you deserve to get paid for your work. You deserve to get paid for your writing. You deserve to get paid for your ideas, for your knowledge, your experiences, and everything that you bring to the world, that you want to bring into the life of your reader. However, it's your responsibility to monetize. And even though we talked a lot about Medium's partner program throughout this challenge and how you can directly monetize your work through the partner program, without pitching, without selling, without working with clients, or anything like, I want to introduce you to many more opportunities today so that you get an overview of how many different options you actually have, either because you cannot join the Medium Partner Program because you are located somewhere where it's just not possible to join, or because you just want to know what's possible beyond just being a Medium writer, and whether it is still going to be worth it for you, depending on your niche, depending on your goals and your writing schedule. And if you can remember, and those of you who've been with me the entire week will probably remember this, we talked about the fact that there is often no relationship between being good and getting paid, right? This amazing quote by Joe Polish, which is particularly true for writing, because good writing is really hard to judge. You know, who defines what good writing is? And at the end of the day, yes, our readers do. But on top of that, even if you are a great writer, and we talked about this before in this challenge too, you might be failing to monetize your work. So it's about a combination of knowing how to write on the internet in particular, but then also knowing how to successfully monetize. And luckily, you do have a lot of options. And in today's session, we are going to look at 4 specific scenarios with lots of different ideas and kind of case studies that will hopefully inspire you to take a look at the future and think of how your specific journey might look like. And luckily, you don't have to decide on a specific journey yet, but I invite you to dream with me today and to really get an understanding of what is possible to create if you start to put yourself out there and show up consistently. So the first case, if you want to monetize your work, is the typical writer, and we will call her Writer Randy. So we have our 4 friends here with us for today's session. Now, imagine writer Randy writes on Medium. She is publishing her stories on Medium, and she is showing up consistently. And she is really a writer by heart. She just wants to write. She doesn't want to really market herself or create products or services. She wants the majority of her work to be about writing, or to be writing, the activity of writing. So on top of writing on Medium, she decides that she could win writing clients. And this is something that I've talked about a little bit during the challenge. That happened to me actually without me even pitching. So in my first year of taking writing seriously, I actually got to work with amazing clients, writing clients, because they found my work and they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to work with them. And I just have one example here, which is the Oberlo blog, which is kind of a brand attached to Shopify, which you might know. So this is an e-commerce site basically. And one of the examples is just this. I was able to write for Oberlo's blog and got paid for writing articles. And this is just one of many more clients that I've worked with just within that 1 year. Now, I, for myself, decided that writing for clients is not necessarily what I wanted to do, simply because this is not the type of work that I personally enjoy. I love teaching. I love hosting challenges like this one. I love hosting live editions of my Medium Writing Academy, which we talked about yesterday. And I just love being in touch with my students. So I tried this and realized that it's not the right thing for me, but I know that it is the right thing and exactly what many people want to do as writers. And if you've been part of yesterday's masterclass, you also heard me talking about my student, who's actually Wendy, who emailed me just last week. We've been chatting in the emails, and she told me that she has been able to cold pitch a client and get paid $1,200 for a feature article that she has written, and that she secured 2 other articles at the same rate, which I think is just amazing. If you build your portfolio on Medium, you get yourself out there, you show what type of writing you do, you show what your voice is like, what topics you want to cover, and then you are able to reach out to clients to cold pitch, or even have clients find you based on your work and then get paid for the writing you do off the platform. And you actually have lots and lots of opportunities here. I just want to quickly talk about 2. So you could be a freelance writer, where you, for example, write for a client's blog, a client's website, or just under on a different separate platform. Or you can also ghostwrite. If you don't want to write under your own name, you can publish articles or even entire books, or get them written. You don't publish them, but you write articles or even books in somebody else's name. So this is what we call ghostwriting, when it's basically you doing the writing for someone else. And this is just another opportunity which a lot of writers love, because in that way they can really dive into the writing. And especially with books, this is really incredible because you are able to charge very high rates. You're mostly writing for people who are experts in their area, but who don't have enough time to write their own content. And then you can continue to build your own newsletter. If you ever want, you can even create a paid newsletter, but you can, of course, or you should have a free version of it too. Then you can move on to writing entire books, right? If you have an audience, because you're writing on Medium, you're attracting your readers, you could move on to publishing, self-publishing, or traditionally publishing books. Now, I'm seeing a great comment in the chat box that I quickly want to reply to. Juanita is saying, someone said ghostwriting doesn't allow you to build a personal brand. That is partly true, yes, but a lot of people just don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want to have their face and their name out all the time. Apart from that, you can have a very strong personal brand and be someone who offers ghostwriting, and people will reach out to you as the writer they get to know on the internet, and they will ask you if you ghostwrite or not. I actually did ghostwriting for quite a high rate, and that person found me because of my articles on Medium, asked me if I wanted to ghostwrite for them, and I wrote a couple articles. So there are two sides to it. First of all, a lot of people don't want to be in the spotlight. The second part is that if you combine it, if you want to build your own brand, but you also want to ghostwrite, you can actually find quite a nice match between the two, if that is what you want to do. All right, let's see what else we have here. Right, actually move on to the second part of the second example that we have here, which is Affiliate Alex. And Affiliate Alex also writes on Medium, but he uses strategic affiliate link placements to grow his income. For example, in his articles that he writes in his content, but also in his newsletters if he's growing one. So he's attracting his audience directly on Medium, but then he is additionally monetizing through partnerships and affiliate links. We briefly talked about that on yesterday's masterclass as well, where I have actually introduced you to my student Corey, who has had great success with affiliate marketing. And Corey actually went on to publish an entire ebook on how to strategically use affiliate links on Medium, because she had great success with that. And actually in the description, she mentions that she has been able to earn over $2,000 in affiliate fees within a very short period of time. I actually think this is blurry on the screen now. I think it was 2 months. Yeah, within 2 months, she's been able to additionally make an income of $2,000. And I'm seeing a great comment here saying affiliate links can feel very icky if you do it wrong. And that's totally right. Affiliate marketing only works if you have an audience that genuinely trusts you and likes what you do. You don't have to have the audience in the beginning, but you have to have content that positively promotes your work so that people are tempted to click through. And it also depends on what types of affiliate deals you really use. So for example, in our VIP session a few days ago, we talked about how having affiliate links to books on Amazon, for example, is not necessarily a great idea, simply because the affiliate share is so tiny and you would need so many clicks to even be able to make a small amount of money. But if you are operating a niche that you really feel comfortable with and that you're familiar with, you might be able to get great affiliate deals based on other products, other people's services, especially services or digital products, that can be a great addition on top of the content that you are creating. So yes, there is a lot to know and study on affiliate marketing, but again, it's not rocket science, and it's definitely something that you can consider if you want to add an additional layer to your income. And Corey has actually done that despite being quite successful through Medium's partner program as well. So I briefly talked about Corey's journey yesterday, where she joined me inside my signature program, Medium Writing Academy, because she has been a fitness blogger, but she's been struggling to monetize her fitness blog. And she was wondering if she could take her content to Medium and monetize there. And she did exactly that. She came to Medium, and within 3 months, she was able to make more than $3,600 on the platform, moved on to build an audience of almost 5,000 followers now on one profile. And she actually has 2 different profiles. So in this profile, she is talking about health and fitness. And on the second one, she is teaching how to successfully and effectively use AI writing tools as a writer. And this is actually also a great example for those of you who feel like you are stuck because you don't know what niche to pick. Because Corey started in one specific niche, which was her passion. And then when she figured out how things work and she got excited about another niche, she added that on top of it. And she basically runs 2 separate businesses now under 2 separate brands, which each serve a totally different audience, which she is passionate about. And she shared, as I said before, her knowledge and everything that she learned by doing that in an ebook, for example. And this is just one of many more examples for products and services or additional monetization options that you have. Now, let's talk about another case. What if you enjoy writing, but you would like to explore your key interest or passion in various ways? So you love writing, but you don't just want to write. And this was certainly true for me. So I love writing, but it is not the only thing I like. And for me, my message is more important than the medium through which I transfer it. And for me, this is being on a video format like this is just one of the other options that I have in order to communicate my message with more people or share it in different ways. And in this specific scenario, we have Coach Carol, who also writes on Medium. So she has her specific field, 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 Pacific 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 All right, so sorry for that. Can you hear me now? Let me know in the chat box if the audio is back up and you can hear me or not. Let me see if, okay, perfect. So big sorry for that. Sometimes stuff just happens and you don't really know why, even though nothing was wrong all the previous days, but let's continue exactly where we left. Let me just see where Coach Carol was. All right, so Coach Carol has a specific field, exactly, and she wants to grow her audience by writing online, but she also wants to dive deeper by developing products or services to dive deeper into her content. Because, for example, she likes to also teach, because she likes to share her message in various different ways. And opportunities that she has is, for example, to create audio or video courses. If she wants to be on video formats or on audio, she might want to create courses in order to educate her audience on a different level. She might also want to create workbooks, for example, or PDF files, and share those or sell those to help her audience actually apply the content that she's sharing in her writing. So she could have editable files, for example, that make it easier to apply what people are learning in her writing. And she could also offer coachings or trainings. She could be a one-on-one coach and really help people take her content seriously and really apply it by helping her through one-on-one calls. But she could also have group coaching sessions, or she could have cohorts of specific topics that she teaches in group settings, again, via audio, via video, whatever she prefers. So this is what it could look like if you actually enjoy teaching and diving deeper into your content and being in that specific coach role. All right, let's move on to the fourth example that we have. What if you want to dive deeper in a way that you don't want to sell directly to your readers, but you just want to be known for your expertise? So you don't necessarily want to be someone who sells coaching or courses or books, PDF files, but you do want to be known for the expertise you have, and you want to share your message with a lot more people. Now, in that case, again, you can start to write on Medium, and then you can do what expert Eva would do. You move on to grow your credibility through your writing. Because you are writing about similar topics, you are proving that you are a trusted voice. And you are then moving on to monetize your expertise through different additional layers. For example, you are working with institutions and brands, and you are helping them achieve their goals. One example that I also talked about yesterday was our student Eva, who started to write on Medium, then joined our Medium Writing Academy very soon, successfully monetized her work on Medium, but then realized she actually wants to use her impact and the reach that she has now to make an impact on the field that she's always been interested in, which is education. So she moved on, or she actually grew her audience by writing about learning and education and school systems, and then moved on to work with clients who actually have an impact in that field, who discuss changes and possibilities, opportunities in different settings like conferences of different types of institutions, where she gets to join them, meet decision makers, key decision makers, and really introduce them to her ideas on how the future of education, the future of schools could look like based on the experiences that she made and what she wrote about on Medium. And then she even moved on to have to host a TED Talk on that specific topic. I think it was last year. So those are all opportunities that you have depending on what your strengths and interests are. You might be the person who is totally down for speaking on stages, getting in front of people and putting yourself out there, or you might have zero interest in that and you just want to write. You just want to be on your own, on your computer, and you just want to type words and you never really want to show your face, never want to be on video, and that's perfectly fine too. The great thing is that you do have all those opportunities and you are the one who gets to choose. You are the one who gets to pick. What's even more amazing is that you can just test and try, because you are allowed to do all of these things and then see which you enjoy and which you don't enjoy, which you don't want to continue to do. Now let's move on to the next part of today's training, which is basically how your journey could look like within a year. And I'm just briefly going to talk about my journey and the different stages that I went through in my writing. I'm just checking the chat box to see if everything is fine and if there are any questions. Let me just quickly check in. Okay, seems like everything is fine. So let's imagine you start your journey writing online, writing specifically on Medium. Now, as we're still in the beginning of the year, this is a great time to talk about a 1-year journey. So let's say you use the first quarter of the year, understanding the landscape, understanding the platform, developing a consistent writing routine so you can show up, and you create a stellar idea catalog so you never really run out of ideas on what to write and you're confident in what you want to write about. And you move on to publishing your work. You start to publish your first few articles, or if you are already publishing on Medium, you start to finally publish with more confidence, knowing that you are doing the right thing now. Then over the next couple of months, you move on to grow your audience and credibility while exploring different interests. Maybe you start to explore some of the ideas we just talked about to see what you want to do in the future. Maybe you try to develop some small products or services, you try to sell them and you just see if that's something you enjoy. Maybe you start to work with some clients, or you just start to explore other people's offers and products to see how they are doing it and whether that's something you would like to do. And more importantly, you could start your email list. So once you feel confident, I always recommend to start your email list as soon as possible. So this is something that you could do relatively soon in the second quarter of the year. Then you could move on in the third quarter to build strong relationships with your readers, but also with peers, with other writers. You could grow your network, and you could move on to analyze your audience. So now that you have an email list, you could actually email your readers and ask them what they would like to receive, whether there are any meaningful products or services that you could offer in order to make their lives easier, in order to help them achieve their goals faster, in order to just monetize the work that you already do in an additional way. And then towards the end of the year, you could develop and sell your first products or services. This could be your first digital products. You could develop your first book, at least outline it. You could start to work with your first clients, or at least think about the rates you want to charge in the next year, and really think about all the different things that you could do in order to add additional monetization layers to your work. And I want to give you a few very quick but specific examples on what I did, so you get an idea of how this could look like. So when I started my email list at the beginning of 2020, I had no idea what I would do with it, and I had no idea how to monetize it or whether it would be worth it. But before the end of the first year, we hit more than 10,000 subscribers. And I remember how incredible this felt, because I started my email list because everybody was telling me to start an email list. I had no idea what to do with it. But because my audience grew so fast and I was able to write so much and reach so many people so fast, I ended up with an email list that was huge and that has just continued to grow. And that happened within less than a year. Then at the end of the year, so soon after we hit that mark, actually, we developed a course. So since the majority of my content is all about improving yourself, about personal growth, about reaching your goals with ease and creating a life you love, we went on to create a goal achievement system where we just provided lots of templates, ideas, and step-by-step frameworks to help our audience make use of a goal achievement system that is not just about goal setting, but actually helping them achieve their goals in a way that I had actionable advice on a monthly, weekly, but then also daily basis. So this totally aligned with the writing that I did, because the majority of my writing was
all about this topic. So I went on together with Philip to create and sell this course at the end of the first year, because it was a perfect fit for people who wanted to have a fresh start and make use of the start of a new year. What we did soon afterwards is we created our first physical product, actually, which is a personal growth journal. So again, I knew that the majority of my audience was interested in topics like journaling, simply because I was talking about it so much. So if you read any of my articles, you probably saw me, writing about my journaling routines, because it's something that has profoundly shaped how I use my mornings and my evenings. And we decided to just create a journal that we couldn't find and that we thought would really make sense to use on a day-to-day basis. And then we went on to sell this to our audience. In our case, we did that via Amazon because that was the easiest choice. And we are still selling both of these products today. So these are just two options that we have for people who are new subscribers, who join our world, who join our email list, who want to explore the world of personal growth and just dive deeper. And then we have one more product that we offer here, which is an ebook, which we also have as an audiobook. That is basically full of book summaries. So some of our favorite books that we got summarized, so we could share quick snippets and quick, ideas. And actually, I think it's always a 2-pager of inspiration that someone could get if they don't have enough time to read entire books, but they want to get an idea on what the book is all about and just get some quick inspiration, motivation, and some great ideas. So this is an additional layer that we have. And the beautiful thing about these aspects is that you don't have to create and sell anything that is like incredibly high priced or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. So if you are brand new, you could literally start with a $7 product, like here, for example, which we're giving away to our newest subscribers for just $7 if they decide to join or purchase the ultimate ebook to fuel their personal growth, which is our lessons playbook on lessons learned from books. So these are all opportunities and options that you have, and depending on your personal preferences, you can just pick whichever makes more sense for you. And I know there are people who would love to have their books published or have their own journals created, but also people who would love to coach people in a more intimate setting, or people who would like to show up, get to speak on stages, get to be on media, and really share their message with millions of people. So it really depends on what your preference is. And I hope this was just, a reminder that you have so many more opportunities than you might even be aware of, and that you can explore all of these with ease and clarity and joy, because you are not dependent on any one of these, but you have all the opportunities you want, and you can just move on and slowly but surely grow your audience and confidently pitch whatever you want to do. Now, the key message throughout this entire challenge was that you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? I've been here with you to share with you how my journey looked like, how other people's journeys looked like, and to share with you that there are so many opportunities and there are so many strategies you can make use of, and you can make use of the stuff that is already here. You don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to be alone. You have a wonderful community here full of people who are on the exact same journey, and we are still here to support you. We are here to answer your questions, and you are very welcome to continue to share your homework with us, your questions, and anything that might cross your mind for the next couple of days while our community is still open. But even though you don't need to reinvent the wheel, there is something you need. You do need a place, a platform to share your knowledge, ideas, and experiences. And We dive deep into Medium in this particular challenge simply because that has been my platform of choice. That has been the platform that I've not just enjoyed the most over the last few years, but also that I've just personally decided to focus on, that I have the most experience in, and that I have had just a great success in terms of growing my income, growing my audience, and really connecting with amazing people along the journey. What you also need is building some sort of credibility so that people get to trust you, they get to read your stories, and they get to come back to your work. And then you also need a process you enjoy and a simplified framework. And if you've been part of yesterday's masterclass, you heard me talking about the fact that we just opened the doors to our Medium Writing Academy Live Edition. I just briefly want to recap on what we are doing inside and introduce you to this opportunity to invite you to join us if you believe that this is the next right step for you on your personal journey. The Medium Writing Academy is our signature program, and the reason we offer this, before I dive into what it is because I see so many people being stuck because they have so many different resources that they have no idea how to use them. And the problem is that if you get access to hundreds of videos, to dozens of PDFs, and a million articles that you want to use to accelerate your learning, you often end up not really knowing what to do. You end up with so many resources that you feel overwhelmed and you don't know what exactly to do, because some of the advice is contradictory, because doesn't apply to you, because you feel like you don't really know where to start. And I genuinely want you to feel the opposite way. I want you to have a straight pathway where you really know what to do one step at a time. And that's what the Medium Writing Academy is all about. This is your step-by-step guide to growing your audience on Medium, if this is something that you believe you would enjoy over the next weeks, months, and years. And the Medium Writing Academy is a 6-week program designed to take the guesswork out of Medium success, whether you are brand new or if you've been struggling on the platform for a while. We help you grow your audience and income on Medium so you can confidently grow your audience without wasting your time writing stories nobody will ever see or read. Now give me a second to quickly recap what you will get when you join us inside. So you get access to our 6-step framework to remove the guesswork. You get access to a proven system to grow your audience so you don't have to hop around or guess, but you can really follow us step by step. You get bite-sized training videos completely updated for 2023 and access to a private community of like-minded writers. And that's not even all, because we've prepared amazing bonuses for those of you who join us inside the current live edition of the program. And we are only offering the live edition once per year. So this might be the only time we offer it this year. And if you join us, you get access to the full Medium Writing Academy online course and our cheat sheets. You get 6 weeks of group coaching with me personally. You get an idea generation workshop, my writing flow workshop, a bulletproof editing formula where I show you exactly how to edit your stories. And then you get to join us inside a private community so you can connect with other writers, share your work, share your feedback on other people's work, and really make the most of our time together. And you have the opportunity to join us for $597. We have a one-time payment option, but also a 3-month payment option if that is more suitable for you. And if you believe that Medium is the platform of your choice, you would love to give it a try, or you've already been trying and you would like to have more guidance, you would like to have more structure in your journey, or you would really love to have the community aspect, you would love to have accountability and feedback from me so that you can know that you're on the right track, then this is what we can do together. And this is what I invite you to at least think about and check out all the details to see if this is a fit for the next couple of weeks of your journey. All right, let's move on to the homework of the final day. So we went through 5 amazing days together, and now we have one last action step for you in your workbook. Today, think about what your specific 1-year roadmap could look like. Which different monetization options would you personally like to explore? What aligns with you right now? What are some options that you feel like could really make sense in your specific case, in your specific niche, or just based on the experiences that you've made in the past? So take a look at your workbook, complete the exercise, and share it with us inside the community, because the community is open for a few more days. And Philip and I will actually go on to review all the submissions that we have, the homework that you guys did. So if you're still waiting for feedback, just give us some more time and we will be reviewing everything that we see in there. So make use of the community for the next couple of days before we officially close it. And now let me actually move on to the chat to see if we have any questions that you'd like to get answered. One last step for our VIP members, don't forget that we have a VIP session happening today in 20 minutes from now. So if you have any questions, drop it into the chat box, and not in the chat box, into the form, sorry, into our VIP form, so that we can cover it in the VIP session in 20 minutes. All right, let's see what kinds of questions we have in the chat box. So if there's anything that you guys still want to know, any questions that you have, please use the chat box now. We have a few more minutes left to discuss. All right, we have a question about publications from Janice. Here we go. So she says, what are the benefits of starting a new publication for 2023? Honestly, as of now, there are no benefits. Medium did announce that they might want to work more closely with publications so that publication owners and editors actually get paid for their work. But I don't think that that's a reason to start a publication. I would not start a publication because you believe you could get supported by Medium. There are very specific cases in which starting a publication really makes sense. And in most cases, it doesn't make sense if you don't have a long-term vision for the publication, because being a publication owner, if you do want other people to contribute to your publication too, is just an extra side job besides your writing. So if you want to review other people's submissions and be a publication owner and editor, you need to know that you are probably going to spend a lot more extra hours on the platform reviewing submissions, making edits, and just making sure that your publication runs smoothly. So this is just extra work, and you should be very careful about making that decision. Especially don't rush into it, because there is really no benefit of having a publication per se if you don't know what you want to do with it in the long run. All right, let me see what else we have here. What do we want to discuss? So I'm seeing a question about having 2 different profiles. Is it possible to have 2 profiles on different subjects? It is possible, and we talked about it before in today's session, right? When we talked about Corey, who does have 2 profiles because she has 2 separate business cases. However, that's kind of like with publications. I wouldn't start different profiles just to cover different topics without really thinking about a longer term plan if you want to monetize your work. Because having 2 profiles is like you have double the work amount, right? So it is, of course, easier to have one profile, one subject, or a few core subjects, and just growing one audience instead of having 2. Because if you have 2 profiles and you want to monetize your work, you might also end up having 2 email lists and having to send 2 different newsletters each week. So you kind of have to twice amount of work for whatever you do. So if you want to have two profiles, just give it some thought and really think about whether it is worth it and why you want to have two separate profiles, and whether there is a way to combine different subjects under one profile if you just cannot focus on one of them, or you cannot pick the one subject yet. Let's see if we have any other question here. So I'm seeing a question from Holly, who asks, how do you use Medium as a portfolio if people have to pay the membership fee to see your work? You are actually able to send friend links to everyone so that they can access your content. So if you ever want to share an article with someone and you know they are not a Medium member, or they might not be a member, you can always use the friend link. And apart from that, usually what can happen is basically that you use Medium as a portfolio, especially for people who are looking for writers on Medium. As I mentioned, the writing clients that I gained, they found me because of Medium, because they discovered my work on Medium. The same happened with a lot of other publications too. So for example, 2 years ago, one of my articles got featured in Business Insider simply because an editor found it on Medium. So you can use it in different ways, but especially in a way that you are actually highlighted as a Medium writer. But if you want to create something else that you can send people for cold pitches or whatever, you can just have the exact same articles that you've written in a Google Drive folder or whatever, and just share the link if you just want to have your work in a way that it is available to people who are not on Medium and you don't want to send a body of links. So there are a lot of ways to do that. All right, let's see what else we have here. Carolyn is asking, do you submit to a publication before publishing? Yes, most publications ask you to submit drafts. So you are only allowed to submit articles that have not been published yet. This is not 100% true, so every publication makes its own rules, but it's true for a lot of publications, especially established publications who just have been on the platform for a long time. Let's see what else we have. So Katie is asking, what is the deadline for deciding whether to register for the Medium Writing Academy? Doors for the Medium Writing Academy Live Edition are open until next Thursday. So that's the 2nd of February. So it's 6 days from now, basically, that you have to decide whether you want to join us or not. And afterwards, we are closing the doors because we are starting with a kickoff session with all students who are inside. We already have amazing students inside from so many different fields, so many different topics that they're writing about. We already did some stalking this morning when I welcomed the first members. So if you're thinking about joining us and you have questions, or you are not sure if it's the right fit for you, feel free to reach out to us. Shoot us an email. We are happy to reply to any questions that you might have. And we are also offering free discovery calls, so we can hop on a quick call and really see if the program can help you achieve your individual goals. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'm seeing so many comments. Let me just see if I can find any questions that we have not covered yet. Oh, great question again on publications. What are best publications for those new on Medium? There is no such thing as a good publication or best publications, because it totally depends on the topics you write about. So the publications you pick should be a fit for the audience you are trying to reach. So if somebody tells you this is the best publication, it is just not true. It is just made up, because Your publication choices will depend on your goals, on your topics, and also on whether you feel like the overall vibe and community of the publication makes sense for your particular piece or generally your work. Let's see if we have any other questions. Yeah, we have a question from Karen on friend links, what we just discussed before. Can you use friend links on social media? Yes, so you can use your friend links, for example, to share your articles on social media if you want to. I always use friend links in my newsletters, for example. When I send a newsletter to 20,000 subscribers, I don't assume that everybody is a Medium paying member. So I just send the friend link out. Okay. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, one final question on newsletters before we wrap this up. So Sue is asking, can you talk about the best way to use newsletter content? Just more of what you are writing on Medium. No, you don't have to send out more of what you are writing on Medium in your newsletter, but you would rather use your newsletter to promote the work that you are sharing on Medium, for example, because if somebody follows your profile on Medium, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to see everything you publish, even though they are obviously liking your stories and they are a fan of your work because they're following you. Following someone doesn't mean that everything they publish is going to pop up in your newsfeed, right? But if somebody is subscribed to your newsletter, you are much more likely to reach them. So you could send a newsletter to your subscribers saying, hey, I just published this piece. You can read it on Medium over here, and you can just briefly summarize the content. You can also just share what you discovered. So you can use your newsletter as a way to share ideas from other people that you have discovered and liked. So there are a lot of ways to do that, but essentially the key idea is to make sure you are engaging with those who are obviously telling you that they like your work and that they would like to learn more about you and the work you do, but also that they would just love to read more of your content and stay up to date on what you are doing. All right, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being with me during the online writing challenge. It was a real pleasure. As I said, make use of the online writing challenge community on Facebook for the next couple of days before we officially close it. If you are a VIP member, make sure you grab your Zoom link now and come join us on Zoom so we can discuss the remaining questions. We have a lot of questions in our forum too, and I might also get some new ones in here. Thank you all for being with me over these last couple of days. I'll see you inside the community or inside our larger community, which is open all year long. I wish you all the best for the beginning or the rest of your writing journey. I would love to welcome you inside the Medium Writing Academy if this is what you think you would benefit from right now, and if you would enjoy doing this together with me and other aspiring and amazing writers. And apart from that, have an amazing rest of the day and an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.